Oh, there
There
we
you
go.
go.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And just push got it, I guess. There we go.
yeah.
Well, let's get shall we get started then? And Mary's on her way, but
Yeah.
we'll wait and see. Okay, so we're calling to order and we have a quorum. I do believe there's 4 of us here, which is a quorum. Mary, we'll come back to the financial report. Oh, we've got to approve the minutes of February 17th meeting. You all have copies, hopefully. You've seen them, read them, have an opinion. Let's see.
If you don't, do you all have copies? I have one.
I do, yeah.
I have a
I can
copy
share.
and I've read it too.
Okay,
Yep. Okay.
okay. All right.
Alice, have you had a chance to look it over, Alice?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, does anybody want to entertain a motion to accept these or reject them or whatever?
I'll make a motion. We accept the meetings at the minutes as printed.
Okay, thank you. Wait, small technical question. Were you there?
No.
So that's okay though, right? You don't have to be there.
Oh, I
to
don't know. I
accept.
read the minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You might be right, Pat.
You don't, I don't think you have to be there. You have to
Okay.
read them.
Well, except that presumably, I don't know, I'm not trying to be ruin Larry's day here, but I just thought he wasn't there, or he doesn't know what we said, but he's simply taking on faith that these minutes are okay. Is that acceptable? I mean, my stupid thinking.
No, you have a good point there, Pat.
Well, would somebody else, just in case, somebody
I
else
was-
make the motion to accept this?
I make the motion, they're accepted.
All right, does anybody care to second that motion?
I'll second it, I guess.
Thank you very much, Carol. We're staring at you. Is there any discussion about the minutes? Then if there's no discussion, then all those who are in favor, raise a hand on the screen. Accepting the minutes. Okay, good. We're moving on to my agenda, which is over here. Financial report. We'll wait for a few minutes. Renee Reiner has not arrived. She wants to discuss about the gravel pit property. She's an adjoining owner. Let's see. Membership renewal and election of officers. Oh my. I'm up and Maura Horn are up for renewal. So, is anybody else what membership oh, we're up for renewal as officers or as just members? Do we know?
I would say officers.
Officers, okay. Well, this is a ticklish situation because I'd like to see somebody else be chairman, somebody with some gumption. I think Carolyn is the backbone and the workhorse of this organization, but I don't think she wants to assume that hat. I don't know.
No, and I nominate Pat Evans for chair.
I think that's,
I can second that.
all right, the motion's been made and
I
seconded.
think you're doing a pretty good job, Pat.
I don't think, well, thank you,
Yes.
very generous. I'm not much of it. I'm more of a, well, let's not get into it. I have my shortcomings and but we're kind of in a pickle in that we don't have a lot of people involved. So in any case, the motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion or are there any other officers proposed for under other seekers of this office that would like to be nominated? No, then all those in favor of Pat Evans being elected chairman, raise your hand, please. Oh, what am I doing? I guess I'll go raise my hand. That's
All
right.
right, Pat. It got caught.
Maura Horn is up for renewal. I'm not sure if the process was totally according to Hoyle the last time we just did this with my nomination. Anybody wish to make a recommendation about co-chair or vice chair of this committee?
I'll nominate Maura Horn for vice chair.
Hey, all right then. Is there a second to that?
I second that.
All right, I guess we should move on. Is there any discussion about Maura or does anybody want to nominate somebody else? If not, then all those in favor of electing Maura Horn as vice chair again, raise your hand. Thank you. Well, that was easy. sort of. We're on to the review of the 2021 project plan, and we're going to start developing a 2022 plan. Now, I presume we're not going to develop a 2022 plan on the spot right now. Are we going to talk about the development of it, or are we going to actually do it? I would think we would plan it, but in any case, have you all had a chance to see the 2021 plan? Any comments about it?
Well, if nothing else, we should at least go through what we have here. So
All right,
like it
Just-
says mowing.
just look at,
Okay,
yeah,
Who's mowing the park? Mac?
yes, he is.
And do you do any mowing?
Yes, I do the trail around the ballpark.
Okay, but Eric doesn't.
He does, it pops up every so often. It might
He
be not as
does.
often, not as often as once a year, but I think.
So I didn't know
he-
if we should leave his name there. He's not a member anymore.
What he did, I think he may have mowed once in this last year. I'm not totally
Okay.
sure. Yeah. Well,
Like,
does being, not
I
sure being a
thought-
member is required to mow the lawn.
No, no,
Yeah.
it's not.
I don't think he intends to be here as a permanent resident,
Oh,
but he is here because of a family situation right
Yes.
now. And
yeah,
has
yeah,
been for a while.
yeah. Hi, Renee.
Good afternoon.
Welcome. We're just discussing, we gave you a copy of the agenda, I think, and we're on the fourth, not the fourth, you're the fourth item. We're just looking at number 6, reviewing the 2021 project plan. So, yeah. Okay. Mac does the park, I do the ballpark, I mean trail,
Okay,
and
Okay.
that's it.
Pat,
And Eric,
Whoops, wait a minute. Sorry. Hang on. There we go. Let's try that.
okay.
there you are. Hello.
There I am.
Hi.
Hi, Alice. How are you?
Well, and you,
Good. I
Good.
am well, thank you.
Pat,
Yes,
when you and I went to the selectmen's meeting earlier, a few months earlier, if you
Uh-huh.
recall, he told us that he would like to continue mowing it. So.
oh,
I
he
don't-
did, okay.
Yeah, do you
All right.
remember?
Shh, I don't, tell you the truth, I don't
I-
remember. That's,
I said
Okay.
something about that he had been mowing it.
Yeah.
And perhaps we should do something different about it.
Here it is.
Okay.
And he spoke up and said, let things remain the way they are,
that seems okay to me.
and not in those words, but
Yeah, that's fine, you know. if that's
yeah,
okay.
that's good.
I mean, if Brenda wants to mow it, that'd be okay with me too. I don't know if she's. Or anybody.
So Pat,
Yeah,
should we move to the agenda item of, for Renee?
well, let's back up
Should
then.
we-
Yeah, let's temporarily suspend our
let's-
talk about the project
Yeah.
plan.
Let's do
Renee,
that.
thank you for today, and you've got the floor right now. If you want to talk to us about, I think we all know who you are and where you're coming from.
Do you know everybody, Renee? Do you know everybody here?
Maybe not. Maybe not in person. I know Mary, I know Alice.
Mhm.
I'm Carolyn. Carolyn
I'm
Bronze. I was at the Heron Rookery several years ago.
Mhm.
Is that why I'm not remembering? Please forgive me.
That's okay. Years ago.
Joyfully, I get a lot of people out there. I mean, COVID's taken
Yeah.
its hit, but I'm hoping to get back to it.
Yeah.
Brenda, have
Okay.
you been able to come see the birds? The
I
herons?
have not come up to the rookery yet. I know it's on the map. I saw whose farmland surrounds it,
Right.
but I haven't been up there to see it. So
Well, hopefully
probably
this summer.
that would be awesome.
Yep. And Galaxy Tab, what's your first name?
Oh, Larry Krieger.
Hi, Larry.
Larry,
Yeah, we've met.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was up at the Rookery too, at
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
walk.
Christmas trees. That's his
Yep.
brand. Yep, as well as Alice's.
Yeah,
you-
everybody knows Larry and Alice.
Good. Yeah. So Brenda,
I called Pat a couple weeks back because, let's see, I've had this parcel now about 7 years or so. And 5 years ago, whatever it was, I went to the select board to say, you know what, if you ever wanted to think about selling off some of your holdings, I would sit at the table with you and see if we could figure that out. And at the time, there were only the 3 select board members, not the 5 now. And it was pretty interesting. I thought, from my perspective, my goal, my purpose, was I've conserved my parcel through the land trust, and I just wanted to conserve more. The land up in there, on my eastern border is, it's lovely land, but it's not like it's usable for anything. No, it's ledgy, lot of berry bushes prickly in there. It's hilly. And so I was just going to conserve it, just, to do that. And my recollection, take me with a grain of salt, but my recollection is that I had one ally on the board who was like, yeah, hey, let's do this. We could get some money to pay down our debt, or we could get some money to, buy some equipment for the town, sort of thing. And one of the board members, saw a dumb flatlander and thought, wow, we could get a lot of money from her, which isn't exactly how I see things, but fair enough. And one board member was like, so we don't know if the state would allow us to divide up the acreage, and the state will allow us to divide up the acreage. I had a conversation with the state, and so that, the conversation really went nowhere, which was fine. And I'll be honest, my ally is Lance's lawyer. And,
Hey,
right. And I circled back around to
Love
Lance and I said, if they ever want to talk to me, happy to sit at the table. And I heard through the grapevine that you all wanted, some town forest land, which is a lovely idea. And whether the 5 select board members would ever say, hey, yes, let's do this, not so certain, but I imagine you got that same sense as well. And so I just thought, I may as well share with you kind of what I'm thinking. Do I think I will ever be successful buying some of that 100 acres? And I said, Lance, I would buy up to 70 acres. Oh, it wouldn't be that much. I'm like, doesn't matter to me. I'd buy 50 acres. Doesn't matter to me. Do I, if I'm betting my nickel, do I think it would ever happen? I would take either side of the bet. This isn't going to, I'm not going to lose sleep over this one way or the other, frankly. I would love to do it. If it happens, that's lovely, at a price that, I feel is fair and reasonable for land that, can't be used for anything else. Were I to do it, would I sit down with you guys and see about, some walking trails? If you guys wanted to build trails on my new land, that would be sweet. I would love that, right? And we could figure out, liability and stuff. Again, I think worrying about this tonight is probably not a great use of your energy either, right? Because, nothing moves quickly. Okay, so I think I'm finished. That's where we are.
go, Renee, we like you.
Alice, Mary, you liked me before.
Yeah, I know it. And I like you even more now.
Excellent.
Couple of things that I wanted to mention, Renee, from the select board side is I like Lance too. And the nature of the board or the board's personality may have changed a little bit in the last few years.
Sure.
Also, the gravel pit is, I believe, paid off.
Oh, good for them. Excellent.
We've gotten that to a point where we don't owe any money on it. And
No.
with respect to modifications and sales, there's a plan that's filed and approved by the state that I think dates for 30 years because we have obviously been active in that gravel pit. It has saved us thousands of dollars of hauling. And of course, almost every road now has part of that gravel pit in it in one way, shape, or form. We actually asked this question within the last couple of months within the select board, and there would be a cost in revising that plan. And it would be substantial to go back in and revisit it and get it amended to be able to utilize it in a way other than what it was been designated for. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but it's like a change of use. Almost never gets approved, usually is stuck for the length of the contract or the length of the approval. And I don't think it's up until 2040 or 45, somewhere in there. I could be
Okay.
wrong.
I'd heard
Right.
35.
Okay, I'll go with what Pat's.
Brenda, if you wouldn't mind, back up for a second.
Sure.
I'm sorry, what is this particular plan?
It
Whose plan
is
is
a-
it?
It's ours approved by the state to use it as a gravel pit.
Ah, which is interesting because when I talked to the state, they said, sure, you could subdivide. Now, maybe they just, the
Oh.
person I happened to chat with didn't know anything about the plan. I don't know. I thought he
It's
did.
actually an approved plan, and if you ask 5 people in the state, you'll get 5 different answers.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so with that said, I'd be happy to support looking at it again with you, with somebody of authority and seeing if there's a possibility. Lance certainly would support that. To move property to you would make sense to put it back in private ownership. But I don't know if we can subdivide the part that is in the agreement that we have for pulling for the gravel pit.
Right. I'm not
Brenda?
interested. I'm not interested in the gravel pit, right? I mean,
No,
Yeah.
but there's a hell of a lot more property than the gravel pit there.
exactly.
If I'm not
That is-
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it can't be used as a gravel pit. All that wooded area, that's
That
never
can't
gonna
be
be
gravel
used as a
pit,
gravel.
no. They can't
Um,
take down the trees.
When you say there's a substantial cost for a change of use, what does, any sense of what that means? Is that $1,000, $10,000, $50,000?
no idea. That's what I'd be amenable to look into with you. So that the
Right.
research was done and both of us would have that information. Because it's, it's not an asset, it's not a liability, it's just not doing anything.
Exactly.
And, so I think with all due respect, I would not mind going there with you and seeing if we could figure out what it would cost or what it would mean to amend or change or redo the
Right.
land use agreement that covers that property.
Thank you for this map. I'm having trouble with my bearings. I sort of feel like I see in the middle, is that my pond? Or am I
No,
just,
no,
I'm
That's the
lost.
pond at the pit.
no.
No,
I want to point, you're to the left side of the map. You border the left side of the map.
All the way off the map to the left.
I see. So is
No.
this the map of the town land?
It is.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
The center is the gravel pit.
I thought that the gravel pit was in the southeast corner.
No, the gravel.
it
the-
starts there.
The gravel,
No.
right now, they're developing that part that's sticking out there to the south or sort of east of Central. But a lot of the lines there show apparently that the gravel pit, as I understand it, is going to be, maybe I'm wrong, was going to be developed in several different segments. And so they're only working on part of it right now. And once that's finished, I believe there has to be a reclamation and they move on to another segment in the
I see.
center.
Yeah, I think Pat's analysis is correct.
Mhm.
And each segment has to be reclaimed once they're through with it. And yeah. And a lot of the other lines too, to the right, for instance, I don't think are intended to indicate, for instance, from the road, the right, very right side is the Egypt Road. And there's a bunch of lines, and I don't think that's gravel pit. I think just simply marking wetland and other facets of the landscape.
Yeah, well, isn't that where that mobile home is?
Yeah, up on the right-hand corner. Yeah, right.
Does the
Yeah.
town own that all
yeah.
the way to the road?
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
The town
Town-
owns that mobile home?
Yes, it
Yep.
does. No, it doesn't own the mobile home, as I understand.
Oh,
it.
there-
It's
yeah,
still
there's-
owned by a private person
Who
who
owns the
pays
mobile
taxes.
home? Who owns that mobile home?
Well, we've been around about this and I've forgotten. I know
I
Hazen
don't-
Stone's
I
rent.
don't know.
So the town owns up to the mobile home?
All the
well, I mean,
property
actually,
around it.
the town owns, yeah, the town owns the property and the owners are paying the town the taxes due on that property, as I understand it.
Right, I had thought that the town owns the land underneath the actual mobile home.
I believe it does, but then that's just me.
I think that's true also.
I understood too that there was supposed to be some kind of agreement that once the current tenant moved out, and this probably is, I'm probably
It
wrong,
would,
because
it
it didn't
would be
happen,
gone.
it would be taken away and it would all be just open land that the town owns, but
There's
that
other
happened,
structures on there too, Pat.
and somebody else
besides
moved
that.
in. Other structures, yeah.
But
Yeah.
what
And
happened there?
They're all.
We
on town
have-
property.
We have been contacted by an individual that would take them down and reuse the material someplace else. But apparently, there's a safety concern now, and that may no longer be true. So we may put it out to bid for somebody to come move those.
Well, that
or
would be
move
the
them-
camp.
Move them and remove them.
You're
Yes,
talking about the camp now?
yep, yes.
Well, the camp
Because there
and
was a
the,
camp and there was a mobile home.
yeah.
I've been told,
Brenda,
I've been
Brenda,
told that. Go ahead.
so Brenda, I think sort of clarified saying that, yes, the mobile home would be gone, but there are also structures on the property that usually are for the use of the tenant of the mobile home. And those would have to be removed in addition
Right.
to the, camp, which is
Right,
being.
there's a
removed now.
barn there.
We actually touched on that at the past meeting, and I'd have to go back to the notes specifically, but an individual who said that they were going to remove it has now not followed through on that. And in order to do it properly, we would ask for requests for proposal to remove the barn, so, or the other structures. There's a couple there, but one has a safety concern with regard to taking it down, so. Legitimately, if you don't have the right equipment, you won't be able to take it down safely. So, and with all due respect, Renee and everybody, I haven't seen the property ever. That's going to be part of my summer exploratory up in those woods and see what the heck's going on up there. So,
Let me
Alex,
know.
am
I'll go traipsing about with you, Brenda.
super.
I'd like to say something about at least one of those structures there, one of the barns. It's very, very old. And I'm not saying I want it preserved, but I think it needs special attention. The one that is off by itself more, it's an example of a very ordinary standard barn structure called the English. And I would like at some point for somebody knowledgeable to give that special attention before it would be damaged or removed.
So you're thinking of some of those people that do barns that have value to them because of their age?
Yes, or I don't know what I'm saying, but there's definitely one that deserves special attention historically.
I think that anything that draws that kind of attention of anybody that lives in Bakersfield, respectfully, we should look at that and see what we need to do with that, because right now I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structures that are on that property according to the map, if they're still there. And I think evaluating or having a plan of how to move those off the property and eventually, of course, take the mobile home off the property. as a select board member, I'm open to any suggestions on that, but as a taxpayer, I don't want it to cost us anything to do that, but having the Preservation Trust Foundation look at any one of those buildings might be a good first step. And then involving the, oh, you guys are the Conservation Commission, aren't you?
Yeah,
Yep.
Making sure you're involved in that process would be critical.
And speaking of
to-
that, I'm kind of concerned that our meeting is going to run over a bit because I don't think this is really business that we expected to attend to, the disposition of those structures and that trailer, and not to be disrespectful, but I think we should move on and see
Move
if
the
there's any other.
Well, what should we do next? Should we go into the select board meeting again and just how should we move forward with Renee's proposal?
Well, thank you. I personally, as a select board member, and this is something I tell everybody, come to us with a plan, because we don't have a firm idea of what we want to do. We know that we own the property, that the note on it's paid off, and that we'd like to get these structures off of there. So based on that as a common denominator, figure out what you want to do. It doesn't do any good for the select board to discuss something that we don't have time for either, quite frankly, Pat. So it's one of those things where
Yep.
you bring it to us with a proposal, then we got something we can act on. So I appreciate the
Well-
constructive.
Okay,
Chatter,
well,
but-
we did bring it to the select board, the proposal for a town forest, and then the next step on that was Nancy Patch was gonna come and do a complete assessment of the whole property. But now I'm not sure what we should do. If we should still have
Well,
Nancy come, that would be interesting.
Yeah,
Well, that's apples and oranges. I think the structures are one thing, the property is another.
Yeah, definitely.
and we're not sure exactly if we do involve ourselves with the town forest, how much of this property we're talking. But in any case, the other side of it is, and this is a kind of a crass question, which is Renee has just made an offer to the select board saying, I'd like to buy this. And the select board has sort of nodded and said, well, that would be good. We could use the money. And we're coming to the select board and saying, we'd like to have a town forest. We're not going to give you any money for it. You already own it. We already own it. So I wonder, not to provoke anything here, but if the select board would easily say, well, this is a no-brainer. We're not going to give this down to the Town Conservation Commission unless we're idealistic and altruistic. We're going to sell it.
Yeah,
if they
I think it's
sell
a
it-
win. It's kind of a win for us anyway, if Renee buys it
if
and,
they, right, Renee would work with us. Renee
Well, that's
would work
fine.
with us.
yeah.
It-
I mean, it's not the best for a town forest really because it's not contiguous with the Cold Hollow to Canada land. That would be the ideal, but we don't have that
Right.
parcel, you know. So,
Right, Pat, I'm sure you appreciate, I'm not here to try and start anything. I'm here so that
No,
you
no,
heard this from me
no.
and didn't hear
No,
it from somebody
no.
else, right?
Yeah, exactly. No. I'm not trying to, I don't want to be adversarial. It's just
No,
done.
no,
It
no.
strikes me that there are two proposals to the select board. There are not two proposals. You have a proposal. We've just come up with one lately, and it seems to be a facet to me that, gosh, if we were, I guess we should discuss with you, I mean, we would have to do this at a later date. Okay, we wanted a town forest. We're not getting a town forest. And it would be very nice what you're proposing at Vermont Land Trust, that we would have trails and such. But I don't know where that leaves us, as far as, are we still going to look for a town forest, or what's going to happen?
Wouldn't
Right.
wouldn't it work out about like, the mountain up here? That's on private land. The
I
trail.
mean, Shattuck Trail?
Right.
I guess so.
If Renee wanted to work with us, Renee'd be good to work with.
Yeah.
Little does Mary know.
and there's already those old sugaring roads up there that go right up to your property, Renee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's almost like trails would be easy.
it would.
Oh, yeah, yes, there are a couple roadways back up in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we walked all the way to your property the other week when we snowshoed.
The
Uh-huh.
loggers,
Or I
the
walked,
loggers
I did.
left a lot of trails in there.
for which I am
Yeah.
grateful.
Yeah.
But Pat, you actually do make a really good point that if you and I are showing up to the town and you want something and I'm offering money, you know,
They're gonna go for money.
of course they would,
Okay.
if they were
Yeah.
going for anything. I mean,
Well,
it
I
doesn't
guess-
mean they're still gonna
yeah.
say yes to me.
And I guess in my own mind, I'm not totally convinced. What you're offering sounds like a town forest, use of the place as a town forest, really. It isn't,
Yeah.
won't be a town forest, but it'll be like we got from Dorothy when she left. But is that what we want? I'm just talking to the commission. I'm not sure. What's the difference between that and a town forest? If there's no difference, bravo. But if it means that we don't know what the implications of it are, or the nitty gritty are, that means that I don't know, what's the difference? Can anybody fill me in on that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
There's a
think,
whole website, there's a whole website with a ton of information about town
Mhm.
forest and how to manage it. And it's a lot, actually. And we would need a lot of other people involved. We would need
Yeah.
an actual commission,
Yeah.
a town forest commission,
Hmm.
separate from the conservation commission.
Mhm.
It's
Hmm.
a
So in
lot.
other words, the mountain up here is easier to deal with than what a town forest would be.
Well, it's already conserved and we already have trails and we got to work on
Mhm.
those.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Anyway,
she's doing,
I
and the owners are doing the work that the town forest commission would have to do as far as managing the property properly. Is that not so? I mean, as far as logging goes, as far as taking care of the
well,
land, as far as
right,
to make
because
sure that's not,
it's in the,
so it sounds
um,
like apples are 6 of one, half a dozen of the other in a way.
well, it's funny because it wasn't even our idea in the first place. It was Linda McCall's idea, you know?
Yes, true.
And we
yeah.
just we wanted to look into it. So
Yeah. yeah.
anyway, we
Well,
have
it
a lot
seems-
on our plate.
Yeah,
We really do.
yeah.
I
Carolyn,
think,
Okay.
I
I'd be
think there
interested
should be
in
a
seeing now.
I
Alice?
think there should be
Yeah.
a decision by the whole town by vote rather than the select board only. If they're ever reached that point about selling anything.
That was the idea. Yeah.
So
After the assessment by Nancy Patch, that was the original
Yeah.
idea. She would do the assessment. And the assessment may come out that it doesn't make sense. I don't know, it'd be interesting to, see what she finds on that
Yeah.
property.
May I ask a question?
she-
Is Nancy offering an assessment as essentially as part of her day job, right?
Yes,
Nice.
yeah, really.
Let her do it. What a great idea.
It is a good idea.
It's a great idea. And plus, it
Yeah.
also then gives some heft back to the select board and the town. When Nancy signs her name to something, people listen, and respect whatever she
Mhm.
says, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Carolyn, is it possible to see what you just referenced about town forests? Is that like an article that you can share sort of thing?
It is a website and I'm not
Ah.
sure. It's a whole website, which I can send out the link. I don't think I have it. I don't have it right handy right now.
No.
I guess I
It would
could,
be
but-
something, I mean, because Pat's asking, and you're all actually asking an interesting question, and something I'm curious about is that when a group says, oh, we'd like a town forest, what does that mean? What does that entail? How much effort? What is it, when we
Yeah.
say we want it, what is it we would actually be getting, right? I have no,
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
this, right?
Renee, you should get a copy, an enlarged copy of this whole previous project when it was purchased from the town clerk's office. So you could better understand all this stuff. But there's some stipulations along with it that
Mhm.
it's very involved.
Mhm. Right, it was,
It's
I
not-
mean, go ahead.
No, you finished what you were gonna say to her.
I mean, half a dozen years ago when I, chatted with the three fellas, and then, they sent me off to the guy at the state. I want to say his name is Steve, wherever I picked that from, but he was like, yeah, that would be no problem to sell off a chunk of it. But they sent me to this particular guy that I chatted with. He was the guy they recommended, and he said, yeah, no problem. And now I'm made curious whether he actually had the authority to say, oh yeah, that would be easy, right? Because that's
Yeah.
essentially what he said.
Yeah.
And maybe he doesn't know what you're referring to, Alice. I don't know. But
Mhm.
since the select board said he's the guy to talk to, it made me think that he knew what he was talking about. I don't know.
Hmm. Well, are we gonna, we have to push this down the road further? We could spend the evening talking about this, but we've heard from Renee and it sounds good, and I raised some stinky issue, but it doesn't sound that bad either. So it's just in the beginning of what we have to think about this thing. And it's nice of you to come in and talk to us about it. You're further along than we are. We're at ground zero. We're just talking about it.
But Pat, nobody said yes to me.
Yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
actually, the last I chatted with Lance was a handful of weeks ago, and he's like, I need to get through town meeting first. So I haven't circled back around.
Sure, right. But
And
I
I
guess
can-
it would behoove me for sure to get back to that website and read about the town forest, and for us to hash this over and see what's going to happen. We don't, who knows where this is going to go. Yeah.
Well, thank you for letting me chew your ears for a bit. Nice to see all your faces. I'll let you continue with your
Well,
meetings.
please come back, when you've got something you want to say, by all means, or if you've looked at it and you have something you want to tell us, please do, and we'll try to be in touch. It's a small town.
It's a small town. And maybe we can chat over a bird walk, which would be sort of
yeah.
in June this year.
Yeah, that's on our agenda here.
There you go. Come
Is
see
there?
the birds.
Yeah.
Listen,
Oh,
I'm
you mean-
assuming the herons. I'm assuming
Yeah.
we'll have herons again, fingers crossed, but one never knows, I'm hopeful.
We had
Yeah.
the snowshoe event, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes. But I guess further on, I'm jumping ahead here. I don't see it on here, but I gather there's talk about us participating in a bird walk somewhere beyond the heron. So you might be joining us for that. Not sure where that would be. Yeah, we'll let you know.
Yeah, it's on the agenda.
Yeah.
And Renee, I'll send you the map and the link, the website link if you're interested.
Thank you.
I'll send you that.
Thank you. Thanks for your time, everyone. Take good care.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
coming in.
So,
Bye
Bye
bye.
now.
Well, now, can we back up to the financial report, Mary?
All right. Nothing new. The balance is still the same. Okay, you have the balance for the last meeting,
Probably.
What was the $130
Yeah.
donation?
All right, I went to our person and asked, and she left me a note. And this is all she had. She said there's nothing new for 2022. And she says, I did not find the donation for $130. She does not know where it came from. Now, Kathy seemed to think that maybe there was an error and they put it in there when they were balancing the auditor.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Because they couldn't figure out where the $130 came from.
Well, would it come from Mike Don we thought of before?
They had no record of it.
Okay, but his name was attached to it somehow the last time we heard about it. Was that the one I'm thinking of? Oh, no,
Who
wait a
is-
minute. I'm thinking of something else. Forget it.
Okay.
Ignore that. It was a public trustees or public funds
They
thing.
did not know where that $130 came from.
Okay.
I
But
questioned them and I said, we were all asking, where did
Just-
it come from?
Well, does it actually exist?
The only answer I could get was when the auditor did it, some of those mistakes that were made
Oh, yes.
back,
Okay,
you know when,
yes.
that was done to correct it.
Oh, okay. Wow. Well, it's not like we lost
So we came
$130,
out
so,
with $130. We didn't know where it came from.
well,
But-
it was $130 to the, as long as it wasn't from a Russian oligarch.
No,
No, that's right. Yeah, there we go. All right, so, thank you. Is there a motion to accept the financial report?
I so move.
Is there a second?
I'll
A
second it.
second.
Even though we've had pretty good discussion so far, is there any discussion? All those in favor, raise a hand and wave it at the screen. Thank you very much of accepting the financial report. Any opposed? Yes, well, there we go. We're on to, let's see. So we skipped over, we've done Renee, membership renewal. Oh, by the way, I got elected chairman again, Mary, and Maura, though she isn't here, is also co-chairman or vice chair. There we go.
okay.
So we were talking about reviewing the 2021 project plan, and we were supposed to talk about start developing the 2022 plan. This is item number 6 on the agenda. And we kind of got bogged down as to who was mowing the property over there, but I think it's pretty well established that it seems like if anybody wants to mow that, go right
It
ahead. But-
gets mowed.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, we could nominate Mary to mow it this summer. So, she quit the committee as fast as, anyway. So do we want to go over each item, for instance, securing the barn for winter, Larry and Pat, which we didn't do this winter?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I've spent time doing that for like 3 or 4 years. And then it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
I don't really see the value.
yeah,
of
I
doing
gotta,
it.
yeah,
I mean, first of all, my tarps all finally wore out. But and then on the other hand, it's like what's gonna happen? A little snow might blow in, so what?
well,
It's a cement
$130,
floor.
$130
It's a cement
would buy
floor.
you a new tarp.
Pardon?
You're right, Larry. What's the use?
$130 would buy you a nice new tarp.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, okay, all right. I've never noticed, I go by there a fair amount, maybe almost not quite once a week, but with the dogs and I'm walking down there,
So
I can't
what,
see any,
when
difference.
did you, when did we start putting a tarp up there anyway? How long's that been happening?
Well, I probably did it for 6 years and I haven't done it for the last 4 years.
Okay, Larry, was there a special reason why it was done?
Because Dorothy thought, probably because Dorothy thought the snow was gonna come in. I don't know. I just sent all that snow to New Hampshire and there's not a problem. now.
Yeah, we'll let her have it.
it's 5:48 and we spent a lot of time and we got some more stuff to go on the agenda. Do we want to keep going through this one at a time or do we want to just look at it and make other select? Do you want to just do what we're doing? Because we're going to run out of time.
I think you probably ought to,
We could, I guess we could table it. We usually use our last year plan to figure out what we need to do this coming year.
So when is this
I
due?
think when is
Well,
it due?
Yeah, when do we have
No,
2020?
no.
Ask Dorothy.
No. Listen, why don't you
You know-
give us this month to review it ourselves and then we'll talk about it next month.
there you
Okay.
go.
Since
It's
we
Good
all
idea,
just,
Larry.
since we
Yeah,
all
we-
just got the copy today
Yeah,
and
It's-
and
That
we
sounds
didn't
like a
know
good
what we
idea.
were really gonna discuss, let's discuss it next month.
Yeah.
All
sounds
right.
good.
I like
Okay,
that.
well then,
I
And I'll see
would
if I can
like,
get,
I would like
Sounds
Um,
good.
Carolyn to tell us what she has committed already about the pollinator garden, so we can write it on our papers about the pollinator garden, which is already, the plans that have already been established for it. Could we set a date for when we're going to chew up the cardboards and do plantings and so on, or is it too early for that?
Well, Jane from Riverview says that the ideal time to plant is basically around June, not too early. So around June for
Okay.
pollinator plants.
Okay,
right.
So you
Um,
think maybe
Good.
that would be a good green up day project? taking away the cardboard?
No, because if you're gonna plant in June, the grass will all come back.
Right.
we
Want
better
the-
wait.
Want the cardboard there until you decide to really
So
plant.
we want to leave it.
Leave it.
I
All
thought the
right.
cardboard was gonna get chewed up as part of the humus.
Well, maybe it will. I don't know. It's probably deteriorated somewhat already. And
We
Probably.
might, if we have, if we have some big plants to put in, which I think we're gonna get, we can do it. We can leave the cardboard and just plant,
Make a hole and put the
make
plants
holes.
in.
We could do that.
Cut a hole in it, plant it.
Yep.
Could do that.
all right then. So we've got a little bit of leeway there as far as that goes. But if we're gonna table the project plans, let's take a look at the winter snowshoe event. It went very well. We had 15, 16, 17 people.
Nice.
And I don't know what else to say about it, except that it was a success, I think. And
Yeah.
I wore my shoes in the sand that day.
did you really?
Smarty.
I thought you were
Rub
supposed
it
to
in.
go, that you're supposed to go barefoot in the sand.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I do.
People were, there's one lady who was a friend of Carolyn's that came, the teacher, retired teacher. I can't think of her name right now.
It's Wendy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wendy. And she was apparently been involved with, or, is familiar with the Enosburg forest, which is really, they're quite proud of it. They've done a nice job with it, apparently. I have to say I haven't been there, but she was raving about the looks of this place in that it has got open spaces as well as trees, and you can see Mount Mansfield from part of it. And
And
it's
it's
just,
beautiful.
nice piece of property. Yes, yes, it is.
You can get on their website and take a visual of it.
Oh, is that right?
The
Oh.
whole length of it.
Oh, oh.
Very
Okay.
nice.
Anybody else with a,
And
Yeah.
well, three of us walked, to Renee's property through the old sugar woods, and there are, old roads through there, and it was really a lovely walk.
mm,
Yeah,
And
from
there's,
the are they logging roads, Carolyn?
they
'Cause
could be,
they
but they're
did
also
log in there.
old sugar roads.
Yeah.
I didn't see, it must have been very selective logging. There was nothing any close to
Well,
clear
they did do
cutting.
logging.
Yeah, and there's, it's like Renee says, it's hilly up there. It certainly
Beautiful.
really can't be used for a gravel pit, that's for sure. I don't think.
No.
Um,
No, they can't
but
take the gravel pit back there because they can't cut down the trees. They got in trouble
pretty
for
ni-
cutting down trees.
Right.
yes, those,
It's-
yeah.
There's deer
nice
yards in
land.
there.
Yeah,
They can't
yeah.
disturb the deer yards.
Right.
Well, it was a nice event. It went very well.
Good.
Yeah.
Mary was supposed to bring cookies and she didn't, but it still went off all right.
I'm sorry, I was sick. I tried.
Okay, all right, well, good. And then we'll have to schedule it again then, give you another shot. Shall we move on to the stream naming?
Can't we do away with that for this time?
Do away with it?
No, we have to
Isn't
do
it-
something on that.
There's a meeting
Well,
in less
isn't
than
it
a
just a
month.
statement? They're gonna do it, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the deal.
And what we need to do is get a
Oh,
written permission from the select board, written approval from the select board, approving our petitions with the three names. So I was thinking,
So do we have to
No.
ask Brenda if we do it next meeting?
yeah, we can get on,
Well, we have to get on the agenda. Just go to the town hall and say we'd like to be in the
No, you
agenda.
gotta get on the agenda now, because April's only 12th is only 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Yeah,
next select board
that-
meeting is less than 2
Think
weeks.
28th.
You only got one more meeting, right, Brenda?
Yep, the 28th is the last meeting in March. Send
Right.
a note to Tammy, and she'll get you on the agenda.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
She'll take an email.
Yep.
She will.
okay, and I thought we could write it up and then the select board could sign their names. I mean, I think
There you
they.
go,
they
Carolyn.
approved.
That's how you want to do it. Just present the letter to them.
Yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
read it. They'll And then they'll sign it.
names.
That's why it's done.
Because, they approved Paige Brook name and we have the 2 other names and we just need them approved.
Didn't we just get notice from the Library Commission that approved that? Was it the Vermont Department of Libraries that renames the streams?
Right, but they have to have all their ducks in a row, and one of the ducks is the approval
Select
from the
board.
select board.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't see that as a problem. I think the letter is perfect that way, and because you've let me know about it, I'll make sure it doesn't escape their attention.
You
Okay.
do know, not to make too much of a deal about trying to make this a thumbnail sketch, just to catch you up, Brenda. We proposed these names once before. The library approved it. And then an observer at the meeting spoke up and said, hey, what about Indian, or rather Native American names? Have you pursued that? We hadn't. And so the library board instructed us to go back and see if we could find anything about Indigenous American names to the place. And there was none, and there was no interest. Carolyn did an effort to contact 2 or 3 groups, Abenaki groups, or Native groups, and got no response really, I
No
guess. Just
response.
a head shake, and that was the end of it. They never got back, and nobody proposed anything to us. So we're going to go back with that. So we
All right.
tried. We tried.
Yeah, if anybody wants to come for that meeting, just to make sure that once we get through the letters that it does get approved, I can speak to it with respect to having attended the meeting and gotten the history and understand
Well,
the
that's right.
the
Yeah.
semantics that they went through as well. So
Yeah, yeah.
not a problem. Larry's looking at his watch.
I think it was,
I had gone to that meeting. I was just thinking it through. Sorry.
well, it being St. Patrick's Day, I may stick a stick in the mud and say, hey, what about naming it after Irish American heroes? No, I won't do that. I'll stay home. I'll stay home and shut up. All right then. Birdwalk collaboration with other local conservation commissions.
Okay, that got a little more complicated. It was gonna be Bridget Butler. We were gonna pay, the 3
Yeah.
conservation commissions. We're gonna share the cost of this, and that would have been about $90 each, but then they asked us if we wanted to go in, so it would be, if we did go in, it would be less than that, maybe $60 for us, something like that. However, Bridget is booked for
Oh,
all weekends in May and early June. So the first weekend she could do it is June 25th and 26th. So those other conservation commissions are talking over, do they want to still do it at that late date? And morning is best, but Bridget doesn't have mornings available. So it may not even happen. If it does happen, I had asked Annette Goyne for more details, like what is the length of it? How much time would it be? What would be our exact cost? She didn't get back to me before this meeting, but obviously it's being pushed back. So I guess we could, wait until next meeting, our April meeting. There'd be more information. Anyway, it would be on the Missisquoi Rail Trail. That's where it would be if it happens.
okay. Well, there we are. And that's sort of
There we are.
tabled,
Yeah.
ad hoc tabled. We're on to other business. Anybody want to propose something that hasn't been added to the agenda? Want to talk about something else? If not, then we're on to upcoming events, reminders, announcements, and public comment.
I have something.
Yay.
Historical Society is sponsoring, finally again, a Sugar on
Oh, yeah.
Snow party
Oh,
Yeah.
a week from Sunday. What is it? I don't know. What's the date of that?
I thought it
Anyway,
was
it's
Sunday.
a week from Sunday,
The
No, it is
20th, right?
Sunday.
1
Don't
to
think
4, with a band, a local band.
It is Sunday. This coming.
No,
Sunday.
a week from Sunday. Am I correct? It's
I
this
don't
No,
know.
that's
Sunday.
not what that's not what the sign says up in the street, I don't think.
It's- Okay, I'm wrong. I'm very wrong. That's me,
So-
old age.
So
But,
it's, we're gonna
just-
have Alice for a band, I take it, if we're, sorry, go ahead.
We think
Rusty bucket.
we think we've been doing it for about 20 years, so it's a
Mm-hmm, that's nice.
timer thing, except for the 2 years of out for the disease. Math.
You better get out if you want to visit with your neighbors, because 4th of July is a bust. It ain't
Well,
happening.
I gotta say something about that, Mary. Give me a second here. 4th of July celebration is on.
It sucks.
Why does it suck? You weren't part of the conversation, were
Because
you?
they had good things going on the 4th of July and they got nothing this year, so heck with it, go out of town.
I don't know. We definitely have fireworks on the schedule.
Yeah, well, you ought to have, because the taxpayers voted money for that. The rest of it, forget. No
Could you be
booths,
more
nothing.
specific? No
You
who?
don't get to visit with all your friends in the fireworks. Nope, it's out.
We're having booths. Where did you hear this rumor? I'm just curious.
Oh, I heard the rumor down street that everything's been canceled out. There's no parade, there's nothing.
Well,
No.
There is no parade because
No
nobody wants to,
parade, No parade, no chicken barbecue, nothing going on. So I said,
never
"Yeah,
said that.
That's a bust.
Never said that. The only thing that I know that got canceled was the parade because it is a logistical nightmare. And nobody wanted to do the safety part of it.
Well, the parade didn't matter anyway. It was so little. I mean, a bunch of tractors, that doesn't matter, but the
Yeah, all the
gathering.
Booths
Wait a
and
minute,
vendors,
you-
that's-
music.
I wanted to bring that up because if you're looking to raise money and you want to put a booth up, you can do that. And it's all going to be inside the fence. And that road is going to get closed, not for the day, but from 5 to the end of the fireworks. So they're not closing East Bakersfield Road for the entire day.
It certainly will be a lot less.
Oh, it's open to anybody who wants to set something up. Go through the fire department to set it up. If we want to have money there or have the chance to earn money as an organization, you can do that. So it's up to you guys.
Is that
So it's gonna-
posted somewhere for everybody to read, Brenda?
It'll be in the minutes from the select board meeting.
Rather than listening to the rumors, have some facts written.
I think that might be helpful.
That would be very helpful.
I like rumors, they're fun.
Yeah, well, honest to goodness, they are.
We have fireworks at meetings because of rumors, hey, you know.
Look for the posting of the minutes on the town website. I don't know if Tamara's got them done yet, but they might be right there. It was the assistant, no, it was the chief. It's chief or the assistant chief? Assistant chief is, nope, it was the chief. They came over anyway and we put it together and
You
the
mean
select
in
board.
the fire department?
Yep,
Oh, that would be Matt and Cosgrove.
I think it was Matt that came.
Yeah, that would be Matt Hall.
So we had a good discussion and you got any questions, I would ask Matt or anybody from the fire department.
Well, I don't want to stir up the water here too much, but in the past, we have usually participated in some way, not to raise money, but we saw to it an electric car was out there for people to look at. Am I thinking of the right thing?
yeah.
And we've
Yeah.
also had
Yeah.
other, I think, posters up at
We
the
did
town hall.
we did the Eastern Ash Borer one year.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
So now that we know it's happening, I don't know if we want to think about providing something or if it's a little late or what.
Just don't listen to the rumors down at coffee break.
Well, hey,
Half of them are probably accurate, but you got to figure out which half.
Yeah, well, I kind of rather see it in writing, so I know for sure.
And where do you go for coffee, Mary? I'm curious. Do you go to the
Jolly's.
general store or Jolly's?
Jollies.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it was a jolly rumor there, my friend.
There's
suppose
no
when
other
the-
place to go for coffee, is there?
Well, when that cooperative store opens up, we're gonna have to go
Yeah.
there. We'll have to be nicer.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, not listen to wild rumors. We're gonna have nice rumors. We'll drag Mary up there, sit her in a corner, tie her to a chair and listen.
Yeah, on that note, and I don't know if you have space for it, Pat, and I don't want to keep you guys too late, the results of the survey are going to be published, I think, this week. People are largely in favor of it. So it gives us another go-ahead point with regard to evaluating the property, to find out what's realistic there, whether it's structurally sound, or needs a complete redo, or we need to think of something else. So people are in favor of it. They like the space that's there, and they would like something there. Because we put up a multiple choice of things to do, most people just mark them all. So that wasn't very helpful, but people are interested. And we did get enough people that wanted help with it that I think is significant, but we had almost 200 returns on that short survey that we put out. So that was very gratifying to see that people, whether
Yeah.
they wanted it or not, they did respond. So, and
Yeah.
we got it about 50-50 on the internet as well as by paper. So thanks to everybody who filled that out. I appreciate it.
Any other announcements or public comment or event reminders? We're selling. No.
I
Okay.
think 5 to 10 minutes, the meeting's over.
That seals it right there. There's a rumor.
Was that a motion? I think that was a motion.
Well, wait. We gotta have sights and sounds of the seasons. Anybody did they have a bear in their living room or something to talk about?
Not
A
yet.
rare spotted bird? Sights and
Well,
sounds,
I
Larry.
said before, I got crocuses and snowdrops
Oh.
poking up
Oh,
through the-
Alright.
through the old,
that's great.
yeah. Just the little tips of them, but it's just good to see it.
That's
Unfortunately, the trees seem to be budding too. Whether that's premature or not, I don't know.
They're
all of a
gonna
sudden.
bud after today.
Okay. Any other sights or sounds? I have nothing to add. The date for the next meeting will be the third Thursday of April, which is,
Thursday.
It's the
Yeah.
21st.
so are there any objections to just going ahead and anything in the way of that? I mean, is there a rumor out there that says it's the end of the world and we should plan to go on top of a mountain or something?
Anything's possible.
Mm.
Okay, well then it's the 21st at 5:00. And is there a motion to adjourn, or do we even, sounds like Larry adjourned it a minute ago anyway.
No, I'm back. I'm back to adjourn.
There
Oh,
you
all right
go.
then. There a second, and I think we're adjourned. Well, that was
Thank
a
you,
very,
Brenda.
thank you,
Thank
Brenda.
you, Brenda.
Thanks, Mary. Ask me more about the rumors. I love them.
I figured I'd ask somebody that knew.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Bye,
night.
Alice.
Mary, isn't it nice to have your door open and the fresh air coming in?
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
I love
That's
it.
a sign of spring, Pat. That's definitely a sign of spring.
Well, my side of spring was the cat started bringing home rodent parts. leaving them at the back door.
Really?
Yeah.
My cat's too old. He don't even go out and hunt anymore.
Was that right? Oh, okay. Well, there we go. See you all later.
Right.
All
Bye,
right, thanks.
everybody.
Later.
Everybody. This is the most fun meeting I attend, by the way.
Oh my
All right.
gosh.
My life is boring.
We were just showing off for you.
Oh, you know what? I am going to tell you something. I bought an e-bike today
Well, good for you.
because it's kind of a rugged little bike,
Yeah.
and I plan on campaigning via e-bike
Oh,
around the towns. So I am definitely running for the seat in the House of Representatives
Oh,
in Bakersfield, Fletcher, and Fairfield.
excellent, excellent. So the E stands for electoral right now, not
Electoral, right?
electoral.
No,
vice-
the people who I bought the bike from, I sent them a note and told them what my plans are. They said, "Oh, you should sign up here to have your publicity." I said, "Yeah, they're all on the West Coast though. This
Oh,
company's out of
oh,
Seattle, Washington, but it's a fat tired bike.
that's
It's
beautiful.
and it's portable and should get about 45 miles to the fill up.
Yeah, we've been thinking about getting one here. So, but
Take a look
yeah,
at the one that I'm hopefully going to be getting here within 3 or 4 days.
love
They're
to.
they're shipping within 2 days, and it was one of the most economical bikes, and it's one of the most socially conscious e-bike companies. And
Yeah.
this kid founded the company after he needed a solution to getting to school 16 miles away. And he got tired of pedaling and
Yeah.
hitching for rides. So it was really
Wow.
really good story.
Okay, well, good
See
news.
you, bye. Thanks.
See y'all.
Hi to
Bye-bye.
your missus too. Bye bye.